all the way back, baby.
Yeah, and if we say book your hotel, you book your hotel. But my lord, I have soiled myself.
What do you mean by live? Genuine live? Hello, radio!
And now, another episode of The Way We HNC. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's another episode of The Way We HNC It, and we thank you, as always, for choosing to spend your time with us discussing this funny little sport that we all love so much. It's been another big week of flag. Feels like we say that every single week, but we've had news on the international level, on the commercial level. We've had Copenhagen Bowl, and the National Flag Football League returns this weekend, mid-season, into the teeth of it, and I'm joined as always, and once again we're back to a trio as everybody's favourite flag football accountants. Bourke and Wilson join us. Gentlemen, welcome back. I've had a hell of a weekend at Copenhagen Bowl. How are you? How is the recovery? And most importantly, how is the psych?
Great, man. Like, I left Copenhagen in bits, and here I am 2 days later feeling actually good about myself. My body doesn't feel anywhere near as broken as it was, but that tournament's quite something. That's a lot of fun that I had.
It blows my mind. Like, I remember walking down to get some vlog content, and I think I might have been halfway down, and it just felt like it was going on forever, and I still had the other half to go. It's just an incredible tournament for the sheer amount of games they play. The body hurts, but I can't tell whether it's aching or sunburn, so I need to find out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. And yeah, I mean, if the heat wave continues, I'm sure you won't be the only one with sunburn come Sunday evening. Here in the UK, it has been toasty. So yeah, I mean, I guess there's so much to talk about. We will just batter on and get straight to it, because for the first time in a few weeks, we actually have some real news.
Du-du-du-du.
Greg with the news. And the biggest news is obviously that is our very much our biggest pleasure to welcome back. No, he's not yet. Not yet. Maybe one day though. Maybe one day. Spoke to him over the weekend. Elon still hasn't sorted out Starlink to the middle of nowhere where Greg lives. You guys think I live rural, Greg's a rural guy now. But yeah, maybe one day, but not today. I'm sure there was a lot of people there that got very excited to hear the dulcet tones of Greg. IFAF have been up to no good, and they decided to be up to no good all on the same day. We now have a schedule for the World Championships. Did you guys were in the midst of like packing in airplanes and going in the wrong direction in Cammy's case when this news broke? I don't know how much you managed to take in, really.
I
Most of
can't
it's
see so much.
I was kind of on watch, to be honest. Like, I was. Was it Thursday it came out, or when?
I think it was Thursday.
It was Thursday, yeah, because I had a day of travelling. For some reason, I decided to go to Belfast before going west before I went east. But fairly up to date with it all. Quite good. The day's announcement is
Right.
is good. I like it.
Right.
I really enjoyed IFAF TV, and I don't know if it's been confirmed about like pricing or anything there, or pricing or anything. It's going to be free, isn't it? Yes. I wasn't sure if that was absolutely confirmed or it was just rumored. But
yeah. Well, they ran the headline that said globally for free. So
I just looked at our posts and the IFAF Instagram posts. I didn't actually read through the blogs or anything.
They ran the headline on the press release. Stream globally for free.
I mean, it was already like we knew it was going to be bought into by somebody. We didn't know who, but I thought the IFAF TV streaming service was actually quite good. It had a couple of blips here and there. I remember the female final in Limerick getting cut out early at one point.
Yeah, lost like 10 minutes of that.
Yeah. But besides that, it's been quite flawless, really. So I was quite surprised that it came this soon, but I'm happy that it has. Dazen's been good. We all use it. Well, majority of the flag community will use it for watching contact and stuff in the NFL. So yeah, I'm glad with that.
I think
And
it's
then,
just going to open up now because, as you sort of were alluding to right there at the end, like a lot of people use that app for various other sports. Obviously, the boxing is pay per view. The NFL Game Pass is on there now. There's a bit of live TV on there, so there's going to be people that are just going on the app to probably do their usual. And as long as there's an advertisement during the games during that 4-day stretch, it's going to bring in people to just watch and have a look. And I think that's going to be better for us in general in the long term because more eyes are going to be on it now.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I guess it depends on. It's also depend like I like. There's so much potential for like the infrastructure around it as well. You know, like the streaming more recently has been kind of local suppliers, you know, beaming through IFAF TV. If DAZN are involved, does that mean that they're like that? Does that what does that mean? Does that mean, you know, crews that do live, you know, that do live sport,
You
or
would
is it
hope
just
that social media accounts and stuff would start putting highlights and stuff on their Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, loads
which
of
would
stuff.
be amazing.
I think the
you know?
biggest thing as well is, as some like I go to somebody who doesn't play flag football and say, "Do you know what IFAF TV is?" I could say probably 99 and a half people are going to say, out of 100 are going to say no. If I ask them what DAZN is, they're probably going to say, "Yeah, I've heard of it. I know what it is." So that itself, massive, huge.
Yeah, and even
Yeah,
if, like you say,
definitely.
when the games are live at Worlds, and you know, I think there was a line that was like more information on the broadcast schedule to come. So I mean, where I will feel sad is if obviously IFAF TV for the last couple of years has been, well, ever since Latte has been every pitch, every game in like one long interrupted broadcast, and obviously you get comms for the medal matches, which is cool.
I
If it
think
goes
we
down the
did
line of
see a dip in Paris. The streaming quality and service wasn't as good
yeah,
for the Euros.
but then they brought it back for like the final day. I thought the final
Yeah.
day was fine. Once they worked out that Austria and Australia were different, then we were laughing. But other than that, yeah. But I'll be a bit disappointed if they go to the zone and then we only get, you know, one pitch. Like, I don't know.
You would definitely hope that like an announcement, a level of this investment to try and bring it over, they would have to bring what you would expect the standard of DAZN coverage to be.
And so this is my thing. Like, if the target market is, yeah, I mean, you hope that it will be. You hope they'll maintain every match, right? But I guess there's always a risk with these things that they funnel their money at like just the knockouts, or just like one pitch at the knockouts, and then half the games there's just no, like, they just vanish into the ether. So I do hope that even if there's no, you know, I'm not saying that they need a full production crew and comms team for every single game, because that's expensive and exhausting, but I do hope that at least on the outer pitches the kind of silent stream perhaps will remain. But yeah, I've not really looked around at the full schedule for everybody else, but of course did get very interested in the schedule for the British teams. So
yeah, buddy,
gets good. Thursday the 13th of August, you've all got very important meetings to put into your calendars around lunchtime. So at 11:30, that's 11:30 UK time. Don't worry, we've done all the calculations for you. 11:30, you'll have the Great British women in a Euros semi-final rematch versus our dear friends across the pond in France, across the channel in France. And before immediately following that, Great Britain's men will take on the European champions in Italy. And then we have a bit of a break. And then in the evening, we come back under the lights. Probably not, because it's going to be August in Germany. But it'll, 5:45 at night. Great Britain's women take on the Asian champions in China. And then at 8:15, Great Britain's men get that rematch from the bronze medal game versus France. And that's a game I think is very interesting, given all of the drama around the French national programme. So we'll see how that goes. And then day 2 starts early, 11:30. Again, Great Britain's women with the World Games quarterfinal rematch and European Championships final rematch against Austria before the men at 2:00 on the Friday play Panama.
I think the schedule as a whole suits us very, very well. Like, in level of difficulty, Panama versus France is quite a difficult in a toss-up, but France have always, for the men, have been quite a bogey team for us.
Kryptonite for the last since Limerick, right?
So, like you were saying, could be a lot of changes in camp. We don't really know. It's just going to what happens on the pitch is going to happen on the pitch, and then you get to play a South American team the day after once you're a bit more recovered. You've got a bit of reflection. You've kind of got used to what's going on the pitch, and then to be fair, quite similar on a bit of film too. Let the boys work their magic, and then the girls are quite similar as well. You've got the semi-final matchup. Then you've got a team that they've already played twice. They played them twice at Worlds, didn't they?
World Games. They played them in a warm up.
Played them in the warm up, and then they played them on the last day. I think it was
on the last day as well.
Yeah, and that didn't really go according to plan, so that's quite a difficult game for them to come back to. And then they've got the final rematch from the Euros, so that kind of builds as well. I think ultimately, given 2 very difficult groups, it's the best that we could really ask for.
I think it's good. I think the girls will feel very confident.
Yeah,
and
they're on a world-beating run right now.
And obviously, there's a chance right now, right? That obviously there's only 3 games and they all matter. But if you can Thursday's if you take care of business on Thursday, top 2 qualify, right?
Yeah.
So you got it's the race to 2 wins, and then we can deal with the third one to try and top the group later on. But yeah, that Thursday is absolutely massive, and then we lead into the weekend, and we can work it all out from there. And C1 plays, I think, pretty sure it's C and D are playing each other. So group C, so C1 plays D2 and C2 plays D1. So depending on, in the girls, that means depending on the output, you're looking at Canada, Japan as the 2 high seeds in that group, and then Panama and Brazil are there as well. On the men's side, one of Mexico, Switzerland, Germany, or Brazil would come out of that group. Well, 2 of them will come out at the top, and hopefully the boys can come out in the top 2 as well, and then we can deal with the permutations from there. Win a quarter final. You give yourself at least a chance at qualifying for the Olympic Games, which is mental to say it out loud. Win a quarter final, and at least you'll give yourself a chance, depending on how the final 2 games go. But we are currently.
Can you imagine if someone said to you 2-3 years ago that, oh, come watch the Worlds Olympic qualifiers live on DAZN?
Right. Especially if just after, just before Limerick. So go for that 3 years, basically.
That's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
One of the largest sports streaming, if not the largest sports streaming service in the world.
And also, when we're at all these tournaments, you're going to be alongside playing against people. There's a high chance that someone I played, I know we'll get onto it, but Copenhagen, that'll probably end up in one of those teams.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. No, think about it this way, right? You go to Copenhagen Bowl or King Bowl or Big Bowl in 2029, right? Odds are someone competing there will have the tattoo, right? We'll have the rings. We'll have the rings tattoo, right? Because not that it's an issue for me, but any sport, I spend 1 minute on the court, pitch, floor, apparatus, track, whatever it is. I spend 1 minute at any Olympic Games in as an athlete. I'd get a tattoo immediately.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went up against Lulu at Flag of New Year a couple of years ago. I'm I've played against a world champion. that's cool. But then
And now
again,
imagine when there's 12 of them.
but playing against an Olympian, like that's tingles.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Remember, there was a guy I went to uni with, and he got talent ID'd for London, and he was the 13th man for the British handball team, because obviously the hosts get an entry to everything, right? So the British handball team don't qualify on merit; they qualified by
Location.
12-person team. He was the 13th man, so he had to wait all the way through the build-up. So he was like, I've got all the kit, I've got the tracksuit, I've got the opening ceremony kit, I've got the closing ceremony, I've got everything. Never got the call. He's like, he's like, I still get invited to all the events, like all the reunions and all of the posh dinners and stuff. But he's like, I don't go. He's like, I don't go.
No, I respect that.
And he's kind of like, I'm over it now. Like at the time, I was absolutely gutted, obviously. But you're also in a weird position of like hoping one of your mates gets hurt, but also really hoping one of your mates doesn't get hurt because they're about to be an Olympian. But he's like, yeah, he was like, if I'd warmed the bench in an Olympic game, he's like, I'd have the whole thing, but never got the chance. So it's like, it's that finite as well. Like, and obviously in flag, it's going to be 10. How we get to 10, I don't know. Like, surely at some point, like the Continentals next year might have to be 10 roster limit, because it's surely. But that's also kind of weird. Is that weird that the first qualifying event has a slightly different set of roster limits?
I wouldn't really say. I think it's too
extreme. Weird or not.
I think it's too extreme a jump to go from 2022 Limerick, 23 Limerick, where you had 15, to not even 3-4 years later. Now you need to drop it to 10. Like that's 5 is a significant chunk. You've gone from having to move away from a dedicated blitzer and a backup QB already, taking a squad traveling. Like it's too much change too quickly, in my opinion. And we know what the target is, we know what the goal is, we know what we need to do with squads, and we're looking at two-way athletes a lot more. Flag football is forever changing in its dynamics and how offenses and defenses are. Well, defense always stays the same, but how offenses are run. But yeah, I think 10 is still quite a stretch just now. But come next year, it gives us a more realistic idea of what we want to take to the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's going to be interesting to see teams' approaches to that as well, given that they're not going to have a warm-up to it, or if they don't have a warm-up with the next competitions. You would hope that now with these, like with some of the nations that are in the Worlds, with all these camps that they're all having and all the nationals come together, that there's going to be a test or at least a trial. You know, when you're doing like scenarios in training, they're going to have to just go with a 10 and just run that to practice, because that's all they're going to have. And obviously thinking forward in terms of developing players with that 10 roster spots in mind.
And it's also how you approach, like, so let's say IFAF don't actually change the outline rules to match up with the Olympics, because we don't know, there's no guarantee that this is going to go forward to the Olympics after that. If they stay at 12, are we still going to bring 10? Are we going to take 2 people and say, hey, you might never actually see the pitch? Sorry. And expect them to still come to these big tournaments?
Surely you've got, imagine if, for those, I know this is an audio medium, right? But I've just got myself a plank of wood, right? And I'm holding it in both hands, right? Much surface area of wood as I can. But you have to, right? What?
I'm with you.
What if you take 10? Touch some wood. What if you take 10 to LA and in warm-ups someone tears a hamstring? Like, you can't have their replacement in the UK or in China or Australia or wherever they come from to like jump on a flight.
Yeah.
Like you have to take people. You definitely have to name alternates. Surely you will. Sure you will. But then maybe they have to stay outside. Maybe they have to stay outside the village with all the other alternates. Maybe they just have to like book into the Hilton down the road and like watch through peek through the fence. But yeah.
Can I put my wood down now?
I need to get Matt one of these. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a legitimate point as well. Like you're certainly bringing in potential logistical nightmares. And yeah, on the subject of logistical nightmares, we're going to move on to your guys' trip to the tournament in Europe with the most teams that are there. Sounds like a logistical nightmare. But yeah, Copenhagen Bowl, gentlemen.
You say good. Logistical nightmare. It was one of the smoothest run tournaments I have ever been to.
That's what we'd love to hear.
Like how they run it as well as they do. Like, to give you a scenario, we obviously had the final that I was in, 2 British teams. We thought it'd be absolutely hilarious, given the nonsense that we were discussing in the Discord, if Neil Henderson could head ref it. So we went to Neil Henderson and said, "Hey, do you have a game here?" He was like, "Nope, I don't." And then this poor guy who's too busy like trying to organise elite finals and stuff gets some reprobate from the leisure bracket coming up being like, "Do you know it'd be really funny if you adapted the whole refereeing schedule just so you could make me happy?" And he was like, "Yeah, fine, problem."
Yeah, it works.
Put him in. No bother at all. It took him all but 5 minutes. There was some issues with the Cobras between leisure and co-ed.
Co-ed.
But they were so open to moving things about, making sure that everyone was aware, keeping refs up to date. Like the whole thing, every single little cog was near perfect. And the most annoying thing about it all, with how perfect it was, as somebody who helps organise some tournaments, is I was speaking to Clayus after it and he said, "Yeah, it was the second worst format I've ever run." I'm just like, what? Like, fuck off. It was the second worst format you've ever ran, and I thought it was bloody glorious. Like, they done
So imagine you'd been there in a good year, Cammy.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Cammy wouldn't make the final in a good year. My like the little tidbit that I liked was they had obviously all the pitches as they showed on the infographic, and then they had the 91st and the 92nd pitches that were out the way in case like a medical emergency or a field was unusable.
Yeah.
So there was an injury in one of the games and one of the matches couldn't be played. I think it was Ireland Spatson. And they had to go across through the field. There's like a new 3G being built in between, but there's 2 extra pitches just out the way in case one field can't be used for any reason. I think that's brilliant. And then obviously,
if you've got the space, right, then you
absolutely. But when they use that space, like again in that infographic, they keep each bracket in the sections down the field. So you have like 6 pitches for elite, 6 pitches for competitive, 6 pitches for leisure, and they stay in those areas all the way through the day. And then obviously the second day is a bit different, but just that sort of level of attention and thought to it is why it runs so well.
Yeah, because you can just set up camp right in like a little area, and then you know that you're within,
exactly.
100 yards, 100-yard box. Yeah, class.
Yeah, like phenomenal. If I was to give it any negative, and I'd be very critical by saying this, but as I feel like because it's very referee focused, and there's a whole referee clinic as well, I felt like some of the referees were under a bit too much pressure because they get, I'm assuming this, Claes is probably going to be the first in the DM to tell me if I'm wrong, that they actually get analysed and reviewed by more experienced referees, which ultimately is a great thing and it's good for the progression of the game. However, some of them got too involved in some of the games or didn't make the critical decisions big enough when they were actually being reviewed. I feel like that put a bit too much pressure on it. I don't really know what the answer is to that, but there was some games where I did see more experienced refs on the sideline with a notebook looking at them, and they either weren't getting involved enough or they were getting too involved. Whereas I was refereed by them a little bit later in the day and they called it perfectly.
Yeah.
And
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, the pressure, I think, with it being a whole big clinic and how many people, like if you're there at the start early enough in the morning, you see how many zebras are there. Like they're
the photo that they've got on the Instagrams,
it's
mental.
crazy. Yeah, exactly. So I think that is part of it. And if there is people standing there with notebooks writing them up, like that's even more so but with that being said, like there was an inconsistency that I found through my games where some referees were picking up on certain things and some referees would not. Like there was stuff about the hats and headwear. Some referees were completely fine with it. Didn't matter. Some people, if you had like a front facing cap, turn it around. And then some referees like was either you can't have it at all, or like I say, you're good with it. So, and then there's just some calls where, I mean, that's down to a ref strictness, I guess. But some calls I thought were mind blowing that they, DPIs and OPIs, and then some were like, let the boys play. So, but again, like you say, that's probably down to the whole phenomenon that they have the clinic there, and people are just trying to be like as perfect as they can be. So, yeah,
and it's
be honest, that's me being totally critical.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm joining you in that like high level of critic. That's me like really pinching there, clutching at straws with you on that, like uber critical.
And I think that's the same, like like it's like they certainly put more emphasis on being a resource for refs than any other tournament I can see anywhere, especially certainly in Europe. And I
Like
think it's probably refereeing style as well. Like you do get, and you get that in all sports. Like rugby is like a massive. Like I obviously watch a lot of it, and there are some refs that you just want to like because you're right, because that's the thing, Mr. Official, you are correct, but I still hate you for it.
So there was one where
And some of them don't want to blow the whistle. They want to let them play, and some of them want to kind of like insert themselves, and they want the game played to their standard, and that's just officiating, I think, isn't it? Really,
it's like there was one where we were in a co-ed game against the sure it was the Meerkats, and I was playing for Yuggy, who, I went to go and speak to the referees, even though I was only playing with them in co-ed. I wasn't playing with them for leisure. There was illegal equipment, which is a dead ball foul. As soon as somebody doesn't have their flags plugged in properly, it was lying on the floor next to them. As soon as that ball snapped, the whistle is blown and it's gone. The Meerkats scored a touchdown. I then said, that's illegal equipment. And he's like, oh, but it didn't impact the play. I'm like, it's a dead ball foul. The play has stopped. And he's like, but it didn't impact the play. And I'm like, you're not listening to me. Like, it got me really riled up. We won the game, so it didn't really matter in the end. But, it's there could be improvements made. There's never going to be a perfectly called tournament across, especially with that many teams and that many pitches. Like,
whatever it is. Jed's going to clip you saying that into a zebra pen. Like, you better be right. Guys, you're going to be at a real.
Well, so I asked the referee, is illegal equipment a dead ball foul? And he said yes. So I'm going off what he told me.
Cammy, you can like one of the madder things for me was like they weren't keeping the same refs on the same fields, were they?
No,
like it was changing. That is what blows my mind as well. Like how they can keep on top of that and keep it changing. You want to talk about logistics? Like teams, you've obviously got the schedule and that's up to them, but refs, that's a whole other ball game. So
well, I guess like machine. The way that I had a quite a look at was it 3-3 or Sport App, whatever it was. Sport app, yeah. Essentially, and it's Tournify does something similar where you can assign individual referees. They're essentially a team, and you assign them the same way you assign teams. It's pretty clever. But yeah, when there's like 90 of them, it's like a whole other. It's essentially a whole other division, isn't it? Really, that you're just like constantly.
Yeah. But honestly, assigning. Like, so we were talking about like comparing it to other tournaments and stuff. Big Bowl has the like legacy game type thing, like the big game on the Friday night where they did when I was there. It was Israel versus Waldorf, I think, where they put two of the higher competitive teams against each other on the Friday night. King Bowl either has the female clinic and the Masters game, which is just a lot of fun, and then Copenhagen has the refereeing clinic, and each tournament kind of has its own niche as to what it is. Big Bowl wants to be the best of the best. King Bowl wants to be a lot of fun and very inclusive, and Copenhagen wants to focus highly on refereeing. I think that is great. And while I have just spoke for 4 or 5 minutes about it, some negatives about it, like as a whole, that is probably the most fun that I've had. Like fun to like me and Matt spoke about our nonsense to playing level ratio at King Bowl, whereas this was like
high level nonsense.
That was high level nonsense. This was high level play with some nonsense in between as well. Like I feel like I played really well over the weekend, albeit in the leisure bracket. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of new people, and even like speaking about negatively towards the refs, a lot of the people that in my teams that hadn't been to these tournaments were complaining, but that ref called it different. I'm like, that's part of the game. You use the first drive to find out where the line is. You play to the ref. The ref doesn't play to you. So
I remember in like the old FIFAs, when it was still called FIFA, you could choose the strictness of the ref in terms of fouls.
Yeah.
So just think of it like that.
And the classic was super lenient, injuries off.
Yes.
And what interesting you say that that all the tournaments have their thing. Like during the Big Bowl draw a couple of weeks ago, I was chatting to obviously Louise and Benji, and they've
congratulations are in order to them.
They are in order because they were saying that it was the wee one was due just before, and
it was the 22nd of May.
One, so
the young fella was born.
Congratulations to them, and the aptly named Little Bowl is now their Friday night. So as the teams arrive at Waldorf, it's like the youth tournament is the Friday night at Big Bowl, So they're hoping, like, as all the teams arrive, there's like an atmosphere around that, and then I guess over the coming years they'll expand it over the weekend. But yeah, Friday night at Big Bowl is Little Bowl, which is great.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, so I guess I have not sat yet and looked through the hours and hours and hours of footage. I will do. Obviously, we spoke about the Great Britain women's program earlier on, speaking about their world's draw. We are with 3 teams in at Copenhagen Bowl in the women's bracket: the Pride number 1, the Pride number 2, and the under 17s, predominantly under 17s, who were the Flag and the Furious, which is
Great name.
excellent. And yeah, first, 5th, and 7th. Take that.
Take that.
Yeah.
The reason some of them are where they are is because they all knocked each other out.
Yes. Yeah, the Flag and the Furious played the Pride too, right? Yeah.
First game or like on the second day, I think it was, or
First
maybe
thing in
second.
the morning.
Yeah.
Class.
But it's, like as an island as a whole, we had 4 teams in finals. We had the women's Smoke second team in the competitive final, and then Flag and Ball Z and Cobras in the leisure final. So go us.
Following on from where we left off at King Bowl, I guess. We had a couple of bracket wins in King Bowls, hadn't we? Yeah, very good. So they were, not that we're putting any stock at all in the division of labour across the Pride teams, but the Pride 1 came home with the Copenhagen Bowl trophy, looking good, pretty solid
Quite
tune-up.
comfortably at that.
Yeah.
Like, first half was, I had the final to go warm up for, so I was going to go down and watch the first half, and I think I stayed for about 10 minutes, and it was just like, cool, game's done. See you later. Like, no offense to the Spanish team that they were up against, but yeah, it was rather convincing.
It was a fun game to watch through its entirety.
I try and be fairly neutral across most things, but I completely draw the line at any neutrality when it comes to the national teams, the national program. Like, you want neutrality when it comes to the Euros or the Worlds or those girls' final of the world. You have come to the wrong place.
Find a different podcast.
Yeah, go listen to somebody else.
Normally, I lean on King Bowl for like atmosphere in finals, but like. And last year with Copenhagen, because of the weather and maybe sort of the French v French final, it didn't kind of translate a lot. But this year, like, the atmosphere was there, and it did in that game, like, with the heat, drinks flowing, people were having food out of the food truck, like, a great atmosphere, like, unreal. That's the best I've seen it in. I think I've been Copenhagen 3 times now. Like,
yeah,
that's the best I've seen it for atmosphere. And then with the game, like, you felt it. I think the only thing that would be missing is
highlight
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was chatting to so I was kind of away on Sunday, so I wasn't watching. I still have the final to watch back. But I was texting with Andy Keith, who I'm sure all of our listeners know, and he was just like sending me like big play updates, and over the course of like a 14-minute stretch, he was like, pick 6 from Ellie, pick 6 from Grace, pick from Jock, pick from Hannah, pick 6 from Hannah. Marquis D is cooking. It was just like these individual messages coming through as he was watching it. And he was like, yeah, obviously they played the Dukes the day before, lost a close one, did their thing overnight, and won and won well. So congratulations to them, and I hope the trophy got home safe and all of that. And I guess next up we're looking towards Vienna I should have looked at the date before we started. July seems to be some kind of big warm-up tournament in Austria. Mexico are coming over. Obviously, Austria will be there. The Brits are going over. So good things happening as we get towards Worlds. And obviously, we'll do a disgusting amount of Worlds build-up.
While we're on the subject, we did cover it earlier. Me and my lovely Bourke were discussing ideas for what you guys wanted to actually see through the Worlds. And we're talking potentially doing some watch-alongs. If we go live or something during some of the games. Unfortunately, Bez will not be with us because he'll be on a boat in the middle of the water somewhere.
Bez talks a big game when it comes to the GB stuff, but then, when it comes to Worlds.
I'm so confident I'm going to sea. I'm going to be at sea.
Yeah.
Just like our opponents. They're going to be all at sea as well.
But yeah, so if there's anything you guys want to see from us, we will obviously be putting out the graphics and stuff. During the World Games, we done like live updates on the channel on Instagram, which we'd be happy to do. If you want to listen to me and Bourke talk absolute nonsense while we watch a game, we're happy to do that as well. So let us know what you guys want, and we'll make it happen.
Looking forward to it, man. Like I all these games are just going to be so good. And watching a lot of the elite bracket, like either like playing in games against national teams or watching them, like, and we talked about finals as well. The big plays in the finals, it's just going to be all of that all the time.
Do you want me to drop some niche flag that I picked up over the weekend as well?
Always.
I fell down a rabbit hole of Americans Samoa, right?
Yeah.
I think American Samoa might be good at flag. Like, I think they might be really good at flag. Yeah.
If the stuff you sent me is anything to go off, then I'm with you on that.
I think they might be really good at flag football. So I think they're in a brutal group. Along, they're in the group with the USA. They're in the group with my darlings in Australia. They're in the group with Israel and then American Samoa. So, like, I'm not saying that they're all locked to get out of the group. I'm not saying that they're going to go on a run or they're going to challenge for the gold medal or anything like that. Just saying, I think a lot of people are going to look at American Samoa and be like, they're only there because the Oceania conference, the continent is weak.
American Samoa or Australia, Bez?
And that Australia.
Hey.
I just wanted to check.
It's still Australia, right? It's still.
I just wanted to check.
It's just
like your stereotypical Samoan is like a standard number 8 at rugby. Like big dudes. And if there is some form of American heritage of American football on that island, then yes, that could be quite a dangerous team.
Like the video I sent Matt, I'll try and find it again because it was a story, but they normally like reel them all afterwards. Like this guy, first off, the quarterback throws like an end zone seeking piss missile, right? And this guy leaps to like his knees to the defender's shoulder height, and one arm catches it, right? And then just like lands in the end zone and then just like chucks the ball to his mate and it's like, right, extra point. Like it's not even like a big deal. And that's the problem, right? That's the problem is like it's not a big deal because it should be a big deal.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Ruben Bain walking straight past the hat podium at the draft type of shit.
Wow. Okay.
AS.FF.
Cammy's going searching. Yeah, Cammy's going looking.
On Instagram. Yeah,
second and stuff for the listeners.
So I'm just saying. I'm not predicting anything for them. I'm just saying I think they're good. Don't know necessarily the level of competition, but in terms of athleticism, they're good. Okay. What their scheme is like, will they be exposed by everybody else? Maybe, possibly, but they're not slow. They're not low to the ground.
Okay.
There are air miles on that team, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. And yeah, on the subject of being on an island, National Flag Football League returns. We'll come back home. So
I'm not ready to leave Copenhagen yet.
Not ready to leave Copenhagen. Well, unfortunately, you have to because you have to go to Manchester.
Yes, I do.
You have to go to Bellevue. So
I've got to leave Copenhagen and the loving arms of Tori Malmström, the large Swedish god that he is, to go and play with the Crows and the Titans. What is life? What is laughter?
What is life? So the guys were given some homework to pick some games of the week from each tier. So I guess we can start wherever you want to start. Who would like to go first?
Matt, I need you to go first because
Matt would like to go first. Well volunteered, Matt.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Cammy, because that was exactly what I was going to say.
All right, let's start homers. Let's make it easy for ourselves. I'll go north. Obviously we've got the one of the pick'ems, which was Grangemouth Aberdeen or Grangemouth Edinburgh.
Grangemouth and Edinburgh.
Okay. We've gone for a mid-table one there. So I'm going to go opposite end, and I'm going to say Hornets, Crows.
Hornets, Crows. All right, tell me about it, Cammy. Why Hornets, Crows? Within memes.
It's the Liam Harper revenge game. What more juice do you want than that? The team that started with the Kirkcaldy Cup on day one and the team that left with the Kirkcaldy Cup on day one. You know,
That's good. That's good. That's a good promo. Maybe that should be how we do this for next time for games
Yeah.
of the week. You guys should have to cut promos for the games.
good lord, that's gonna be awful.
Oh, baby.
But yeah,
That'd be good. I think that would be good. Hype tapes for the games. That's good. The Liam Harper Revenge Bowl. Cammy's game of the week in the National. So yeah, Bourke, game of the week in the National Division.
I'm going to carry on with this theme because I keep bringing it up, I think, every single week is true to my heart with a lovely relegation scrap. We have two teams that are the bottom two fighting it out. And to quote you earlier, whoever loses, it's a long way to come back. I think even a 6-game, cross-conference or national cross game day might not be enough depending on how far you plummet down. So
I'll give you a hint,
going...
and for everyone to
yeah.
For everyone to keep on listening and maybe go over to YouTube. This game's going to come up later on.
It is the London Fire versus the Cheltenham Neptunes in the bottom two matchup.
And it's also in the Picks League as well. It is the South game in the Pickham's League. Yeah, there's a lot riding on this one. Good promo. Good promo there, Matt. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and the game in the north, which I've picked, is the Broncos and the Edinburgh Outlaws. One of the reasons I picked this is because I think the Broncos are the only north team that have not been in the Pickhams yet. So we had to tick that box off. But also, this is the last game of the day in Aberdeen. So they will both have played or be playing in a Kirkcaldy. They are guaranteed a Kirkcaldy Cup matchup the whole way through. So this game will potentially have something riding on it unless Aberdeen have won both of their games. But yeah, either way, this is a pretty big one for these teams. I think it currently goes Grangemouth, Edinburgh, Aberdeen as the three teams above the relegation zone. So picking up wins here and picking up a bit of margin for your head-to-head. This whole trio is pretty important. So Aberdeen are playing Edinburgh for the first time. Aberdeen are playing the rematch with Grangemouth, and then Grangemouth and Edinburgh will play each other last. So that's the Pickham game that we're going to go with. And then I guess Cammy, let's come into the Prem. Cut me a promo for a Prem game, mate.
I am feeling North A since they've been off.
Since they've been off for a wee rest.
A wee rest.
A wee walk on the beach and a wee rest.
So I know the Blackhawks are playing Stangs.
And Raptors.
Stangs, Raptors, and Sents again. And the Sents game was a fair maul in the first time. It wasn't comfortable. However, Renfrew are also playing the Mustangs. They are. Think so. I am probably going to go with that. It's a third clash. I feel like the Border City Centurions after the first game day. It's way too soon to say that they're going to run away with it. However, I know certain things about the Blackhawks, and I know how their schedule's forming out, and I don't think that they are going to be able to take the the Centurions black in the day. So the table could actually get a bit messy, but I am going to go Raptors Mustangs because the winner of that would put if the Mustangs win it, that puts them tied on record with the Raptors.
And the crucial head-to-head.
However, that does leave my Blackhawks sitting in the dust. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. It's not making me very happy thinking about this, Bez. So I'm going to shut up and say that it's the Renfrewshire Raptors versus the Grangemouth Mustangs.
I think that's a class game, and that's Grangemouth and Renfrew have been playing
it's an old favourite.
If you go back to when it was the Paisley Spartans, and I mean the Mustangs didn't exist, but Grangemouth did, and there's legacy players in this that will remember it the whole way. So yeah, it's a clash of two teams that have been around for a while and find themselves once again in the same division. So I'm interested to see how this goes with the layoff, because it's a long time. I
mean, the Blackhawks haven't stopped playing flag, to be fair.
They haven't stopped playing flag.
Majority of them.
You're right. It'll be interesting to see the other teams, maybe, the other teams in this group.
The Chargers are just off their first international tournament.
They're not really travelling teams, so
no.
In terms of international play, at least. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of adapt to that. But yeah, Bert, where are we going?
I'm going to go down because we've got what we alluded to last time was our juicy cross-conference down in the south with all these teams. I know that, but unfortunately it's not the the major extreme fun one that we're anticipating towards the end of the year with the teams that are at the top right now. However, 2 teams, and one of them has converted me. I said that before. We doubted them a little bit, or I doubted them personally a little bit, but I've been converted, whether that was by some harsh DMs or not. I'm going to go for Victoria Park Panthers versus Coventry Phoenix. 2 teams on some good winning streaks. I said before, I'd heard that VPP had figured it out, and the Phoenix have gone out and publicly proved me wrong to show how good they've been.
I like it.
That one stands out to me. I'm looking forward to that one.
Nice one. I think so in terms of, I think that's class. And I think there's actually, so in the ones I went with for the pick'ems, I went Mustangs, Blackhawks, Cammy, because I know you were on the edge, but I went Mustangs, Blackhawks, basically for all the same reasons you went Mustangs and Raptors. That trio are all locked in that. And I mean, the Blackhawks, then you start winning games, basically.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Like, to put it bluntly. But I went Phoenix Rebels down below, basically
Nice.
Identical reason. 2 teams that have been around for a very, very long time. 2 teams that know each other very well. 2 teams that have played each other in cross-conference matches previously. For the Phoenix, obviously they're chasing down their crosstown rivals for the top of their division, and the Rebels are behind only the juggernaut of the Nomads. So they're going to want to keep pace because they're going to get another shot at the Nomads later on, and if they're only 1 game behind, then it's on. So I think they're very well poised. They're very well poised.
Okay.
Will Bez's good luck charms continue?
I'm being nice about everyone today, so they can't all lose, right?
They can draw.
They can all.
Pandemonium across all the BAFA leagues as everyone seemingly draws.
Everyone ties. That would be amazing. If I ever get the pick'ems as ties, then that's how you know. That's how you know everyone's following the script.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't know.
I'm going to invade Matt's territory. I'm going into Burkeland.
He's going for the easy one, isn't he? Go on then.
Keynsham Kings, Exeter Falcons.
Not the one I thought you were going to go for.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And some certain people will know why I'm picking this. Maybe a quarterback that I played with at the weekend that left the club a few years ago with a couple of players. And one of those players has gone back to one of the other clubs. And there might be a bit of inter-club drama. And not that I want to stir the pot or say that anybody's saying anything. A bit of heat on that. But in the fight, bit of dirt in the teeth. Yeah, I think that could be quite a good game.
I mean, Exeter are playing well. You know,
They are. Okay, they lost to Gwent quite badly the last game day, but they were on a bit of a heater the first 2 games beforehand. I don't know if I'm backing them. Lewis owes me a touchdown or 2 from the final of Copenhagen Leisure final.
Clip it.
Yeah,
I mean, what he done.
What's the lads? Patrick Smith, quarterback, Falcons, seems to be rolling with that offense. Obviously, former Exeter Falcons QB with Lewis and prolific blog writer Lewis Phillips will be lining up on the other side. So I think that's very good.
So Exeter have played 1 more game, lost 2 less games, but I mean 100% win record to 80% win record. The net points difference is only separated by 20. It is like, I know Exeter are on a bit of a run at the minute and seem in a much more comfortable position, but I would quite fancy the Kings going on a little bit of a run and upsetting the table a little bit.
It's a big game day in the Southwest.
Cross conferences, man. And the North as well, so
it's absolutely massive. And I guess, Mr. Bourke, without any further ado.
Well, you were both kind of tapping onto what I was getting into. My theory, what I'm going to lay down to you right now could change because of Cammy's game pick. But I'm going with a homer right here because I would, as a personal thing, I'd love to see him do it. And if I jinx him, I'm so sorry. But it's for the right to be top of the division with this sandwich that we're on about. It's Exeter Falcons versus Gwent Gators.
Yeah, it's
both
by
of them
far
because like you just said, Cammy, Gwent managed to get the one over the Kings, and obviously that's the first round of fixtures, or the first run through. If Gwent can win that one, that puts them top and 2-0 in that little triangle of the top of the sandwich that we're trying to push for. So that's what I'm looking at right there.
Yeah,
I love it.
So yeah, those two teams are combined 12-0, obviously in that, and they're averaging like 13 points against per game, 13.5 points against per game, if my maths is right. So good teams, good quarterback play. Obviously, Bartlett Leg back in for Gwent, and yeah, so we'll see. I'll certainly have my eye on how that's going.
It's played on the Sunday, isn't it?
Great question. Wish I had the answer.
I hope so.
Check.
I can check that for you. Hang on.
If that is correct, I'm going to be live and direct down there to watch that. Wait, depending on where they are.
No, it's on the 30th. St. Luke's School. No idea where that is.
Yeah,
ruined my weekend. Thanks, Cammy.
Anytime, mate.
Exeter. It's in Exeter. So
that's not actually the first time I've said that in the last month.
So and then I can't remember what the other ones I picked were. Locos Ravens, basically two friends of the show going at it, so they get their pick. Wirral Vikings versus the West Yorkshire Warthogs, just because UVUYW. That's got to be the closest to the end of the alphabet that any matchup ever has been.
Hey, we did start the alphabet last week. We were all in together. Might as well do the end now.
Yeah, we did. So yeah, WVWYW. How good is that? Wirral Vikings, West Yorkshire Warthogs, and then also Isle of Wight Raptors and the Kent Exiles for similar reasons as kind of the Gwent Exeter game. They are both the top two in the East. They are currently our sandwich filling, and basically the way that that shakes out, there is going to determine probably which Southwest team they meet in the playoffs.
Nice.
And crucially, not that you want, obviously you have to beat everyone, but could be some very key matchups on who you get to avoid, because obviously two of them will qualify. So if you can avoid the number one overall seed by coming second, then we'll take it. Or meeting them in the final of the Southern playoff, then we'll take it. So yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. My only other one really is, I noticed Murray and Aberdeen play each other.
Yep. Aberdeen are sitting third at the minute.
Aberdeen are sitting third. They don't play Glasgow this time, but if Murray win that, and their other two games are against, I think, the Colts and the Astros. So they'll be massive favourites in that one. If they get by Aberdeen again, they're going to be so far clear.
Yeah, so that's
at
on
the top of that division.
Sunday at Grangemouth, if I remember correctly.
They're down south. Yes.
Down
Hamilton,
south.
I think. Is
so it is. No, so the North Prem is at Galaxy Sports in Grangemouth.
Galaxy, yeah. And HNC Div 1 is in Hamilton.
Do I go and see my Blackhawks, or do I go and see the Killer Bees? That's the question.
Interesting. But yeah, also shout out Dave Ronald, who's the quarterback at Murray, in his 25th season of flag football, of playing American football, and has so far chucked 40 touchdowns for Murray this year through 7 games.
Another shout out while we're on the years of the 20s. Gordy from the Outlaws and me worked out that he has been playing flag for as long as I have lived.
Yes,
he has been playing flag for over 29 years, and it was my 29th birthday last week. So, yeah, go on, Gordy. The best ability is availability. Longevity matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, shout out the OGs that are still getting it done. And yeah, if Murray go on a playoff run, then I'll be absolutely delighted for them. So maybe I'll go see them tomorrow night. But yeah, I think that is our games of the week. Obviously, there's loads going on cross-conference, all across the Prem, all across Div 1, and the National. I think the South are split, the North are split, so game days galore, which will bring us on very, very nicely, and we will just about welcome our YouTube audience, because if you want to watch this segment, you can watch this segment. It is time for Hitch and Go.
Fucking Hitch!
I love that.
I think that's an academic question. It's quite a good one.
I'm worshipping the chaos. I love that one. That's great.
Yes, welcome back. It's Hitch and Go. We got a jingle.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Does that soundbite count towards my swear per?
Good question. We will find out later on once the Spotify censorship goes through the transcript. Who knows? Who knows? But yes, it's Hitch and Go, and it's my turn to sit in the hot seat. So if you are joining us for the first time, first off, there's 4 episodes for you to go find out and enjoy and get to know what the rules are. But the rules are very simple. It's essentially overreaction Monday on a Tuesday kind of vibe. So if the guys think that I am overreacting to something, then they can hitch on it. And if they think that I am probably not far off and they're happy to take it on as a reasonable opinion, then they will go with it. So that's where we're at. So we've got 3, and then we've got a very special one, which the guys have had their homework. So they're prompt, they're prepared. So we'll get to that. So as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, there was a game that we've spoken about already that's gonna come up, but it might only be week 3 for these teams. But the loser of the Tunes in the Fire and Oil Cats versus Edinburgh will be relegated.
Oh, where are you playing this weekend, Bez?
If you're playing the availability game, week 2 was by far our worst and was always going to be our worst. That was built in, basically.
I don't know.
So the key thing is here, I said and, right? So you have to commit to either, you can't have one or the other. You have to commit to both. That's the...
See, I am going to go Hitch. Because I don't, even if Tunes lose against the Fire, I still think there's some cross-conference games that they can win that could drag them back out. And I don't know Oil Cats. You don't know what Edinburgh's going to turn up, because they took a squad of 7 down to Manchester and came away with 2 wins.
2 games. Yeah.
But the Oil Cats of week 1 were very different to the Oil Cats of week 2. Trust me, I know. I felt both of those. So I'm going to be...
There it is. You got the setup eventually. There we go.
I'm going to hitch.
You're going to hitch. Bourke?
Yeah, I'm going to join him on the hitch on that. I think that's too specific of a outcome to roll with. I think there's still a lot to be played, and the six. I will always keep referencing, and I still can't wait to watch this 6-game swing happen. And I just think, like, looking at it with some of the wins that have come, circumstances may be, I think there's still too much fight left in some of the teams we've seen, and availability hasn't been at its best, and I think there's still way too much to play for even now. So yeah, I'm going to hitch on that.
Nice one. Good.
Fair play for
Just as an
a
aside
question
on the...
to make me think.
That's a great question.
Just as an aside on the Aberdeen game day, if the Broncos get the Kirkcaldy Cup off of either Edinburgh or Aberdeen, if they just hold it at the end of a game, every Northern team will have held it at some point this season. Every team in the Northern Conference will have held it at some point. That'll complete the... the circle of parity is already complete, but that will complete the Kirkcaldy Cup of parity in the North.
Hammer the under, he said.
Yeah, heavy under. Heavy under.
I'm taking a heavy under.
Okay, also a game that we have discussed before, but there's a long season to go and there's cross-conference games to come. So, the winner of the Gators and Falcons will not lose a regular season game.
Regular season.
They will not lose a regular season game.
They've already had cross-conf?
They've had one round. They opened with round 1. Yeah, round 1, I think. Yeah, round 1 was cross-conference for them, and their next cross-conference game is game day 4, so after this. And also game week 6.
I am...
Thanks for doing this one.
You're welcome, mate. I mean, they're tailored. They're tailored.
I feel it. I'm just naive to think that it's just going to be Cammy Rage Bait every time. My heart says go, but I'm like looking at that matchup. Obviously, you said the winner of it, that King's return, like it was close with the Gators last time. I just think there's just too much in that game, too close. It can just go either way. Not saying that one's going to like definitely win, but I think just from what you've proposed.
So they next play each other
Do you
week
want to win?
6.
Do you want a minute, mate?
No, I'm gonna take a hitch on it, and I feel awful about it. My heart is breaking.
Think I've gone too far? I mean, it wouldn't. To be fair, it's probably sensible, right? Like most of, like they will probably be every team in that division will probably end the year with a 1. But
Yeah,
I mean, you get your big hurdle out the way, Cammy.
I know I've already mentioned a tall, handsome Swedish man once this episode, but I'm going to refer to something that he said to me at the weekend, and that is when he got given the ball on an option play and said, "Cammy, fucking send it," and that is exactly where I'm going. Give me the goal.
Yes,
I want it. I want it.
Winner of this game ends the season unblemished.
Yep.
Very good. Very good. You'll have made some friends in the Southwest, I'm sure.
Nah, they already hate me. It's fine.
Okay, this one, the next one, the final one that you're going to see for the first time, blind, is less individual team performance related.
Okay.
It's more personal preference. So, for the purpose of this question, while I think colours are a cop-out, I will allow it. Second teams called A and B should be banned outright. The people demand nicknames.
go.
What about colours?
What do you mean?
So we had like
no,
Northlands Titans blue and white.
No.
We had Outlaws blue and red. There's a whole bunch.
I want
Go.
silly nicknames.
Yeah, I wanna see creative names.
Locomotives and iron horses.
I want Thunder Ducks. I'm using my platform for good. I want the Thunder Duck back. Okay, cool. I was concerned that I was going to be the only one that had unnaturally strong feelings about it, because that
one of my favorite
pisses
teams
me off to no end.
One of my favorite teams that has ever been really about ever was the last minute entry to Iron Man from the Crows' second team, the Manchester Quavos. I loved that.
Mate,
yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah, that was good, and they won the Tiny Hammer, didn't they?
I remember playing against them and them being frustratingly annoying to play against, but yeah,
pretty sure they went on to win the Tiny Hammers in the end. Excellent.
I just love hearing, especially with my knowledge now of the leagues and all these new teams being formed, especially in the North, teams names that just roll off the tongue. Just sounds so good. Like that's so much better than adding an A, B.
Yeah,
I know they're not a second team, but I'm still in love with the Red Kites. I think that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Helps that they're also very cool birds, but I just think that's absolutely class. Absolutely class. And there are some very good ones out there. All right, cool. So this is one that you have been able to prepare. So this one is a bit of a game. It's not really linked to anything, and we're going to clip this because I'm sure the community will have some fantastic suggestions that we haven't thought of. So I would like you to name a supermarket item that has had more than 100 starts in the National League. You need their name, their division, and the position that they play. So the example that was given to the guys earlier on, for example, Lady Grey played in the MSC and she was the starting quarterback for the Windsor Wildcats back in the day. Played 100 games. Okay, so it's all fictional, but which supermarket items sound like flag football players?
So,
and the guys will suggest, and then I will judge a winner. So
you will, as my explanation goes on, you'll probably get a better idea of who mine is.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you their name till the very end.
Okay, I'm not going to find out your item until the end. Okay.
They are a centre, a heavy set centre, a big boy, who plays for the Torquay Toucans. Played domestically in Ireland to start with. He's been here for a while, but took a minute to take off and has become quite popular in recent years. He was originally compared to the more local heavyweights, like John Smiths, or Barry Best, or Bryn Brains. but has become a lot more established as an independent in the last few years. You usually need to give him a drive or two to get him in. He needs to settle for a minute. He's amazing to start the night with. Start the game with. Apologies. He'll get you out your end zone, and he's also clutch in the red zone towards the end of the game. It is Sir Artie Guinness.
Very good. Very good. Very good. I also heard that in clutch situations, he can be ice cold. So there is very good.
I spent way too long.
Yeah, that's
Very
a bit
good.
of a manuscript compared to.
Okay, very good. Very good. Bourke, your supermarket item that has 100 starts in the National Leagues of flag football.
So this one is a controversial one. It's a quarterback. It's been seen and gone under many names. Been seen at many a game day, but also not allowed at many a game day. Each to their own.
Ooh.
For reasons that, like I said, maybe not allowed, maybe ejected, changing with the times, but does bring the energy as a player, brings you what you need, gets you through the day. It's Mr. Kong Strong energy drink, market zone.
Yeah, good one. I like that.
Excellent. Excellent. I genuinely don't know how to pick those. Punchlines are excellent. Yeah, we did play this game before. Well, I think we did play this game and with the All-Cats to see how things would get on. And one of the other summertime suggestions, as it's the summer at the moment, was a transfer into this into the league from South America. He played wide receiver. Our Brazilian winger Solero. So that was good. And yeah, I don't know if you ever saw when last time you were in the supermarket, Cammy, the slightly heavy set Scottish blitzer.
Go on.
Beef McCoys. I do think I'm going to have to go with Artie McGuinness.
Artie McGuinness.
I'm sorry, Matt. It was a storytelling question, and as you say, the manuscript is one. So yeah, I believe I'm not sure whose turn it will be next time. But yes, in the comments below the YouTube video and obviously on Instagram, we would like your suggestions for which supermarket item has played 100 games in the National Flag Leagues. So that is the end of Hitch and Go. That is the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck this weekend, wherever you are playing in the, I'm assuming, well over 100 matches, which will be taking place across all.
Not well over
100.
100. It is only 104.
104 games, 13 divisions, and a whole bunch of venues. Good luck. Exeter to Aberdeen. We are National Flag Football League this weekend. So good luck. Have a great time. It is goodbye from Bourke.
Goodbye.
It is goodbye from Cammy.
Goodbye.
And it is goodbye from me. Thank you very much for listening. That is the way we HN see it.